Hi, this is Margaret from Margaret's Crafts. I wanted to show you the new way that I'm storing my Tim Holtz inks, distressed inks, because this is the way I'm starting to do them now. I still have some more coming in, and I haven't used them up enough to buy the refills, but let me show you what I did. As you can see, this used to be where I stored my Sizzix dies. It's one of the dies, the holder, it's an old one. This is when they first came out. And this spins. There's a back and a front. I don't have anything on the back yet, but I was fixing it up so that I can have my Tim Holtz distressed inks there. When I first got them, they had these little black stoppers, so you can put the smaller dies on one side. And if you didn't want them, this little black thing just slid out to put the larger dies in. Well, because I wasn't using it for the smaller dies, only my larger dies, I misplaced them or threw them away. So I had to remake them because I wanted my Tim Holtz dies to stop and not go all the way back, and that spacer was at the perfect place for it. So what I did was I wanted to make some new stoppers, and as you can see with my my dies, there is a little space on the side. Well, that's where I want to put my re-inkers at. I can sit the re-inker that matches the die right there on the side, and I can have them all together. Okay, let me show you what I did instead. I like how the finger mark is out so I can grab it and grab the ink pen, grab my markers right there. There's a space on the bottom, above and below, and they're on this side too, so I can grab my re-inkers when I start to buy them. This swivels so I get double the amount, but for now it's just sitting in a corner because I only have 10 at this time. But it'll be 13 on each side, so that'll be 26. Don't know if I'll ever get that many or if I'll just use the one side. Okay, here's the way that it would sit. It would sit and rest on that black part. Well, I had threw these all away, and so what I did was remade them. Now they're not movable because I glued them down, because I didn't make them to sit into the little slot or nothing. I just glued them down down on top of there. And let me show you how I did. I just took a piece of cardstock that is 4 inch by 4 3/4 inch. Fold it in half the long way. And I used my bone folder to get a good crease in it. Then I took a piece of chipboard that was 4 3/4, slightly shorter than 4 3/4 by slightly shorter than 3/4 inches tall. And I just put I glued it down, or what I did was I put my glue on both sides of the inside. Then I put my piece of chipboard in right there at the fold, and I kind of like folded it up to get it centered right there in the middle on that fold. And then just bent it up. Then I want to make for sure it stuck good. Then you could even, if you wanted to, what I did with mine was I scored it, but for those who don't have a score pal or any type of a scoreboard, then I just folded it back to that chipboard that I have on the inside and pressed it out. Do that the same on both sides. The chipboard just gives it a little extra stability for the little part that stands up. Now I take my part that goes in, make for sure you have with the bottom side down, and I'm going to put tape on both sides of here. I put tape very close to the line, and then another piece at the edge. This isn't going to take a lot of banging, so I didn't think I would need the heavy adhesive because it's just like a stopper. Then I fold my piece up, line it up with the holes, and let one side down at a time. Then I'll lift my other side up and let it down. That way I can get my line right there in the middle and make sure it adheres good. And that's it. I slide it back into place, and when my ink goes into the thing, it stops right there. And my re-inkers will stop right there too. And the way that carousel works, it spins. So I will have two sides when I get enough of the inkers. And they'll rest right there. Now I want to show you what I did with my re-inkers. This one is broken china. And if you can see, it's upside down. What I did was I store my ink upside down. So I put the name right side up. And then on a piece of white cardstock, I kind of just took the ink pad and touched it into the ink, let it dry, then punched out one of my small punches to show you that's the color that's in there. And then it'll go on the shelf like that. And if I need to, I can just look at the color, because I may not, the name doesn't always work with the color. So I can look at my colors that I have and see which color I want. Also, for my daubers, I was having to try to find a lot of blocks or a lot of daubers, and then I had to figure out how to store them. So what I did now, I went to, these I got at Walmart's, and they were like $2 for a pack of 100 of the little bags. And all I did was I taped the bottom half of the bag down to the bottom of my ink pad. And the matching sponge pad, I just took that and slid it into the little plastic bag. And when I'm ready to use it again, that's why I didn't glue the top part down, because I could stick my fingers in there and grab my little sponge out. And then after I'm done, usually I'll just leave my dauber or whatever it is sitting on top. And then I just take that, because it's set a while and it won't get so messy. I can take my dauber back out now and slide it back in to the plastic bag. And now I have that same dauber, colored dauber, to go in with my ink pad. And it goes on the shelf, and I have my ink, I have my name, I have the color, and I have my little sponge to go with it, and it rests right up on the shelf. This is a mini album made out of, it is not decorated all on the inside, because what I do is I make them up when I'm in the mood to make them up, and then I'll decorate them later, so I don't know what the theme is going to be for the book. So I make my book up, and I don't put any embellishments on the front or anything like that until I'm ready to actually figure out what's going to go inside. But this is one made out of the file folder. This is the one with the two pockets. And then the way I did mine is a hinge. I hinged the two file folders together instead of gluing them back to back. I figured I could get a big journaling spot or a big picture spot. Like I could put several pictures there, or I can put a fold down page or whatever I want to put on this one. This is the first block. This is the second one. There you can see it has the hinge together. Then this is another file folder together. This is the double fold down page. This is the double fold down page one. And I can put whatever I want to, however I want to decorate it on the inside. And this is another one of the two backs, because you can see where I have my spacing in between here. I wanted to show you how I did it. This one is just a smaller spacing to connect the two file folders to the two, file folders together. And to cover this up now, all I'll do is I'll put some kind of decorative edge paper going in that way, and I'll cover it up so you won't see that one. And then here's the other one with the pocket page on the side here and the flip down on the page here. These were a lot of fun to make. And when I was watching YouTube, I was watching a lot of different people make them. And the idea that I got came from Scrap Diva Forever from My Scrap World. And she was showing all the different types of pages. So what I did was when I made it, I just took a piece of computer paper and I made my file folders out of the way that she said to make them. And this is just like, this will go into my sample book to show how to make all the different pages. Then I just took a piece of tape and taped them together, you know, so I could keep it together. And then that's what made me think, well, maybe I could put something in here and then I'll decorate over top of it to make my spine together. And these are all the different pages that she did. And I just did all the different pages. Here's another one, spine together. I just did all of the pages that she did out of a piece of computer paper. And here's another. This is just showing how many different ones that there are. And here is the flip down page. And then this is the pocket on the side. I just did a sample of all the pages she did. And then this one was my sample here at the end when I said, well, that's how I can spine it together like that out of a piece of spine and then cover it. And here's the one with the one side. And that's just showing. Now, I'll keep this for all my future references of how to make these books out of the file folders. If I forget, this will be in my reference page. So this is a good idea to keep in your, wherever you keep your ideas written down at. I have a book. Instead of a smash book, I guess this is sort of my smash book. I keep all of my ideas of what I want and how to do scrapbook pages and how to do mini pages. And everything goes in my smash book. So this will rest in my smash book. And then because I have such a hard time remembering where I saw what, because I watch a lot of YouTube videos on how to make the different things, while she was starting it, I just went down and I wrote it on there with her name so I can remember to give her credit. Thanks a lot, Scrap Diva Forever. Thanks a bunch. Thank you very much for watching my videos. Bye. Have a happy holiday.